Welcome to DEMOCREPUBLIX, where we cover the real news that matter to we the people. According to The Hill, Comey's original Clinton memo released Cites possible violations. Ex-FBI Director James Comey original statement closing out the probe into Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server was edited by subordinates to remove 5 separate references to terms like grossly negligent and to delete mention of evidence supporting felony and misdemeanor violations, according to copies of the full document. Comey also originally concluded that it was reasonably likely that Clinton's non-secure private server was accessed or hacked by hostile actors, though there was no evidence to prove it. But the passage was also changed to the much weaker possible, the memo show. The full draft and edits were released on the website of Senate Homeland and Government Affairs Committee Chairman Ron Johnson, Republican from Wisconsin, providing the most complete public accounting to date of Comey's draft and the subsequent edits. The drafts released in full for the first time on Thursdays offer new details on the FBI's Clinton investigation and controversial conclusion. The Hill was the first to report late last year that Comey originally concluded Clinton was grossly negligent, the statutory term supporting felony mishandling of classified information, when she and her aides transmitted 110 emails containing classified information through her non-secure server, but that subordinates edited the term to the lesser extremely careless. Now, I know I say it time and time again, but if it was someone like me that took classified information and put it on a server that I created, I would have been prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Because she's a Clinton and the deep state is protecting her, obviously, she'd get away with everything. It doesn't make any sense. But back to the story. The full drafts with the edits leaves little doubt that Comey originally wrote on May 2nd, 2016 that there was evidence that Clinton and top aides may have violated both felony and misdemeanor statutes, though he did not believe he could prove intent before a jury. It doesn't matter. You don't have to prove intent. The FBI don't prove intent. They just bring evidence to the DOJ, and the DOJ is the ones that prosecute. It has nothing to do with intent. She was grossly negligent. At least that's the very least she was gross negligent. But I believe she has some nefarious reasons behind putting that classified information on her server. Although there is evidence of potential violations of the statute prescribing gross negligence in the handling of classified information and of the statute prescribing misdemeanor mishandling, my judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case, Comey originally penned. And I believe he said no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case because a reasonable prosecutor would think about it and like, wait a minute, will I prosecute Hillary Clinton and possibly be murdered, Arkansas, like the Vince Foster or somebody like that? So a reasonable prosecutor wouldn't prosecute her because he's afraid to die, but someone that's unreasonable and don't care and wants justice would prosecute her, is what I believe he meant by that. That passage, however, was edited to remove the references to gross negligence and misdemeanor mishandling, leaving a much more generic reference to potential violations of statutes. The FBI has told Congress the edits were made by subordinates to Comey and then accepted by then director before he made his final announcement July 5th, 2016, that he would not pursue criminal charges against Clinton. Johnson recently sent a letter to new FBI Director Christopher Wray demanding to know why such significant edits were made to Comey's draft and whether they were part of an effort by the FBI subordinates to politically protect Clinton from a harsher assessment during the 2016 election. The edits to Director Comey's public statement made months prior to the conclusion of the FBI's investigation of Secretary Clinton's conduct had a significant impact on the FBI's public evaluation of the implications of her actions, Johnson wrote, noting recently released text messages show some senior FBI officials involved in the case harbor political hatred for Donald Trump or preference for Clinton. This effort, seen in light of the personal animus towards then-candidate Trump by senior agents leading the Clinton investigation and their apparent desire to create an insurance policy against Mr. Trump's election, raised profound questions about the FBI's role and possible interference in the 2016 presidential election, Johnson wrote. One edit that concerned Johnson was a decision to delete from Comey's original draft a reference to the FBI working on a joint assessment with the intelligence community about possible national security damage from the classified information that passed through Clinton's non-secure email servers. We have done extensive work with the assistance of our colleagues elsewhere in the intelligence community to understand what indications there might be of compromise by hostile actors in connection with the private email operation, Comey originally wrote. The reference to the rest of the intelligence community was edited out, the memo show. Johnson now wants to know whether other intelligence agencies had assessments of damage that differed or were more negative than that of the FBI. So basically, we have proof that he originally had gross negligence, which you can be charged for. You can be charged for gross negligence. That's why they went through and they changed the wording of it so he can suggest that the DOJ don't prosecute. But if it was gross negligence written on in that memo, then he would have had to go in front of the DOJ and tell them to prosecute Hillary Clinton. But we know now that the DOJ is reopening the investigation into Hillary Clinton. I'll get into that later in another video. But let me know what you think. Do you think what do you think should happen to Comey, or what do you think about this article? Please just leave your messages below. Let me know what you think, and please subscribe and check out DEMOCREPUBLIX for the latest in news. Till next time.
We live in a really nightmare. Watch out for me, watch out for me, we live in a really nightmare. Watch out for me, watch out for me,